So this was their poem. Jambufalani pakvani patanti vimale jale tani matsyah khadanti jalamadhye dubuk dubuk. The jamun fruit is ripe. अमृत भाषा रसिक जन नमो नमः. Me Shraddha Nilesh Gosavi welcome you all. So let me see who all are joining, because today is weekend and I am sharing my favorite story from my childhood. Okay, so stay tuned till end to know the entire story. And I would like to tell you one incident also around this story, that once hello everyone, Namo Namaha, who is joining, welcome you all. So around this story there is one incident also that I would like to share, that when usually in the night time I tell a story to my child, to my son, right? But nowadays it's not regular, but yes, I try to tell a story to him as much as I can whenever the time permits. So once recently I told him a story about Mahakavi Kalidasa, and it was an interesting story. The interesting part was the shloka, which was important part of that story, and that shloka is very unique, is very different. And once I told this story to my son and he was able to remember the entire shloka, and once when his lecture was going on, he was able to tell this story in front of his all the schoolmates. Okay, so that's very thing of pride to me, and I really felt yes, I need to tell such stories, more such stories to my son on frequent basis. Okay, so that presenting that story to you from my school time. The story name is Kalidasasya Chaturyam. So there was a king who was his name was Raja Bhoja. Okay, Bhoja Raja. He was very clever. He was a learned scholar. He was very good in all the sciences, all the vidyas, Shastra Vidya. All right. And what happened is Kalidasa, Mahakavi Kalidasa was part of his court, who was famous for his compositions. As long as he is there in the court, the royal assembly never used to find themselves in sinking in boredom. And he was also famous for his greatness, his ability to help people. All right. So around that time, King Bhoja, he was also known for his kindness to poor people, kindness to needy, and he also used to recognize different talents. Okay, so if a person is talented but does not have any money, so Bhoja Raja, King Bhoja, used to recognize his talent, and he used to reward them for their talent. And due to this, many people used to come to his assembly, showcase their talent. And after winning the king's heart, after winning the heart of people in the assembly, in the royal court, they used to get rewards, and huge rewards for their presentation, for their talent. So many people used to come on daily basis to his court. So once there were three friends who were thinking that they were very young, okay, in their teenagers or so, and they were not having any kind of work. They were not learned scholars, and they did not have any direction in their life. They also thought that many people are going and getting rewards in King Bhoja's royal assembly. Why don't we also try? So they thought, and they just went ahead. But what to present there? Question came to their mind. What to present there? So thinking through, next day they came together, and they were sitting on a bank of a river. What happened at that time? So I will describe the scene for you. The river, alongside the river, there was a jamun. There was a jamun tree. So that jamun tree had ripe fruit over that tree. So what happened is the river water was flowing. The tree had jamun fruit which was ripe, and slowly the fruit was falling in the river water. So what happened? They felt the three friends, they were sitting on the bank. They felt, let's compose a poem and impress the king. So they just started reciting one shloka, one line of one shloka. Okay, so the first one said, Jambu falani pakwani. Second one said, Patanti vimale jale. The third one said, Tani matsyaha nakhadanti. Again the first one said, Jala madhye dubuk dubuk. So this was their poem. Jambu falani pakwani patanti vimale jale tani matsyaha nakhadanti jala madhye dubuk dubuk. So what they said was, Jambu falani pakwani, the jamun fruit is ripe and ready to eat, and patanti vimale jale, it falls. Patanti, fall on in the vimale jale, the clean water of river that they are sitting beside. So the jambu falani, jamun fruits are ripe and they are falling in the clean water of river. Tani matsyaha na khadanti, the fish do not eat it. So even if the fruits are falling, fish are not interested in eating it. And the last line which was recited by the first of the three friends was Jala madhye dubuk dubuk. Tani matsyaha na khadanti, the fish do not eat it, and Jala madhye dubuk dubuk. When the jamun fruits are falling, they are making sound dubuk dubuk. So yes, I mean they began the composition of shlok with enthusiasm, but then on the fourth line, yes, they could come up with only this thing, Jala madhye dubuk dubuk, though it sounds very nice, and because it sounds different, Jala madhye dubuk dubuk is a different word. That's why my son was able to remember this shloka and recite it. So they composed this composition and they went in the court of King Bhoja. So the day came when they presented this shloka. But as we can say, the shloka was very ordinary, and for a person like, for a learned scholar like King Bhoja, it was not difficult to understand the talent or the lack of it from those three friends, right? That's why he didn't think really to reward them. But instead of giving negative feedback, he suggested them that, see, I congratulate you on making an effort to compose such a shlok. But don't you think the shloka or the verse is very ordinary? What I will do is I will give you one more chance. If you can recite it with some twist, or if you can come up with some other shlok, some other composition or some other talent to showcase in front of me, then I will definitely reward you. I will definitely give you some direction in your life. So that was his reaction. So with his reaction, he did not really demoralize those people, and he also made sure that he didn't reward anything which is not extraordinary talented, right? So these three people went back, and then they were clueless what to do, because they were not poets, they were not having any special talent. So they were just sitting just like that and thinking what to do now, and they were planning to go back to their own village. But then some villager who saw them in trouble, who saw them in tension, he said that people who come to our land, in the royal court of King Bhoja, they don't go disappointed from here. And if you have any trouble, there are some people who are ready to help you. People like Mahakavi Kalidasa, who will not only are the great poet, who is not only a great poet but is also a very kind man, who can show you some direction, who can guide you. Because you are composing a poem, why don't you talk to him? Those three people thought, okay, we don't have any other resort, let's go and talk to Kalidasa. So they went to meet Kalidasa. Kalidasa heard their composition properly and immediately suggested that yes, I would help you, but I won't give you a readily created poem. What I would do is, I have heard your poem, the first three charanam. What I will do is, I will change the last line of that poem. So the three first lines were Jambu falani pakwani patanti vimale jale tani matsyah khadanti. And then instead of Jala madhye dubuk dubuk, Kalidasa modified it to Jala golaka shankaya. So he did not even took away the credit of those three friends, and he also modified the poem to change the meaning. Okay, so next day these three young friends, they went to Bhojaraja's court and they said, yes, we have made another attempt and we are ready to present our poem in front of you. And they recited the poem. Jambu falani pakwani patanti vimale jale tani matsyah khadanti jala golaka shankaya. So the meaning now was, Jambu falani pakwani, the jamun fruits are ripe on the tree. Patanti vimale jale, they are falling in the clean water of river. Tani matsyaha na khadanti, the fish don't eat them. And last line which Kalidasa gave was Jala golaka shankaya. Shankaya, with a doubt, with a fear of Jala golaka, a trap of Jala net. We all know, right? A fish net has some a marble-like structure which has some bait for them, and once they catch it, they get trapped in the net. So because of that, fish are thinking, so Kalidasa imagined that fish might be thinking, they are smart, they are acting smart, that if we eat those fruits, those are the hanging bait from the net, fish net, and if we eat them, we will get trapped in the net. That's why they are not going and eating those fruits. Jala golaka shankaya. And this was an entire word, okay, in that poem. The last line was a single word. Bhojaraja heard the poem and he thought to himself and said to those people, those three friends, that don't you think the poem is ordinary, but only the extraordinariness can be seen only in the last line. Don't you think so? After his statement, even those three friends felt very guilty, because they came to know that Bhojaraja has understood that they have not composed it. So they just apologized and honestly shared that the last line was composed by Mahakavi Kalidasa, which Bhojaraja had guessed it by now as per Kalidasa's nature. So because they were being honest, Bhojaraja, King Bhoja, rewarded them for their honesty and also gave them good direction. He guided them to take up some activity, take up some means of earning so that they can progress in their life. He also told them to gain some knowledge in their desired field so that they will make a good progress. And this way everyone was happy, even the three friends who wanted to earn some reward, some money, and even Kalidasa, who wanted to help but did not take all the credit to him. So that was the kindness and cleverness of Mahakavi Kalidasa, and his life is filled with such incidences. So I really love the era. I really love to think about an era where such poets were alive and they were creating the magic from their brain. So that's why I am seeking the knowledge of Sanskrita Bhasha, and I also encourage you all to seek this knowledge, this wisdom and beauty of this language. And if you have any issue, if you have any doubts, you can reach out to me. I am doing few free one-on-one sessions, free one-on-one coaching sessions. So it will be a limited thing as per the availability or overlapping time. So if you have anything that you want to explore in Sanskrit Bhasha, you can DM me, you can reach out to me, and I can share the way to communicate, to connect with each other. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the story, which I love a lot. And once again that shlok for before going. Okay, so the shlok is Jambu falani pakvani patanti vimale jale tani matsyah khadanti jala golaka shankaya, or I should say jala madhye dubuk dubuk. Alright, so tell me which version you have liked, and that's it for today. And have a good Sunday. Okay, have a good weekend and Sunday. And bye bye. Namo Namaha.